Hi, my name is Ilma, and today I'd like to share Psalm 104, verses 18 to 23. The high mountains are for the wild goats, the cliffs are a refuge for the rock hyrax. He made the moon for the seasons, the sun knows the place of its setting. You appoint darkness, and it becomes night, in which all the animals of the forest prowl about. The young lions roar for their prey and seek their food from God. When the sun rises, they withdraw, and they lie down in their dens. A person goes out to his work and do his labor until evening. Psalm 104, 18 to 23. Here's my devotional. God's order in His creation. Previous to verse 19, the psalmist mentions that the birds have their own home. In verse 18, he also says that the other animals have also been given their shelters, including the stork, the wild goats, and the rock badgers. A wise and loving God provides for them all. In verse 19, the psalmist turned its attention to the moon and the sun. They operate according to God's plan, providing darkness so that all the beasts of the forest creep about. According to Maclaren, the moon is named first because the Hebrew day began with the evening. And VanGemeren comments, on the other hand, that Canaanites attributed rain, sunlight, and the lunar cycle to specific deities. For Israel, the Lord's sovereignty rules over all creation and establishes order by His wise administration. Just as God provided for the night, He also provided for the day. When lions and other nocturnal animals lie down in their dens. When the lions sleep, man goes out to work until the evening. All operate according to God's wise plan for creation. Spurgeon comments on verse 21 to 22 as, "It is a strange expression that young lions, when they roar after their prey, should be said to seek their meat of God," implying that neither their own strength nor craft could feed them without help from God. The strongest creatures left to themselves cannot help themselves. Clark says, "And as it would not be convenient for man and the wild beasts of the forest to collect their food at the same time, He has given the night to them as the proper time to procure their prey, and the day to rest in. When man labors, they rest. When man rests, they labor." What an amazing God we have! He has organized His creation in such a way that everyone is provided for and there is no chaos. It is interesting how the psalmist mentions the lions who depend on God for their food. It is easy to miss out on God's order and boundaries. Whenever we get so wrapped up in this world system, we fail to see God's governance. Reflection. How can we constantly be aware of God's order in creation and mankind? Well, the first thing we need to do is to recognize that everything comes from God. And if we are believers, if we're true believers, we will be able to see all the manifestations of His creation, of His order. Like in humankind, He made Adam come first, and Eve was made from the ribs of Adam. So the order is man is the head of the woman. It doesn't mean that man can abuse woman. It just means that God created it in that way, because that's how He made creation. And we don't know why He did it, but that's how He did creation. So here in this verse, it shows us how the little things that we don't pay attention to actually manifests God's order. Like when He was saying that He even has these birds to have their own shelter. They build their own nest, so they have their own nest. The wild goats go up the mountain, and so on. And he even talks about the moon and the sun, where they have a special time that they come up and one goes down, so that we have time for the day where man will toil, so the sun is actually enlightening the man so that he will be able to see what he's doing. And at night, the man rests, and then the lions and the other animals, wild animals, go to get their prey, so that man is safe while they're doing that. So what an orderly God. And when there's chaos in our life, we need to be more dependent on God to show us where the chaos is coming from, because it's not from God. Because God is not a God of confusion, but Satan is. So when there's chaos and confusion going on in your life, that means that you are being overpowered by the spirits of Satan, or the spirits of the world. So I encourage you to have a close relationship with God, know the Word, know the truth, and expose every little lie that comes into your mind, comes into your heart, comes into your mouth. Because that is the only way you can recognize the sovereignty of God, the governance that He has created, so that we will be able to follow that, so that we can live in His promises. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ilma'S.com for more artworks and photographs. And I hope you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, so I could make more videos for the Lord, give Him glory, and so that the mandate for man will be done. Thanks for watching.